reason my mic got set. So, anyways, welcome back. And welcome to Pros and Cons. So, we had a little bit of dead silence while I was talking there, but we had the captain here with the feline version. And we just got done watching the episode. So, you said you liked it, right? I liked it too. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good start for the season. I did take some notes, and I don't know, did you take notes?
I actually did too. All
right, let's kind of go through our notes.
Can I read off the first one that I wrote?
Yeah. What's your first note?
Laris is back.
Dude, that's your first note. That's funny. That was one of my first starts. I was like, oh, Captain's going to note that. Because we were talking about that last night. Where are we going to see her again? Yep, there she is. But at least it's actually Laris and not her like great-great-grandfather, descendant, whatever, you know.
So, I hope not.
And she's gone.
Could get weird.
She she got the best acting gig. She just disappears all season and like gets paid for a full season of work. I guess they're like, shouldn't have written that 3-season contract for her. I guess.
No joke.
Hey, you know, she had my first note. I actually just kind of wrote the scene so I could kind of keep track of what was going on. So the first scene was Beverly attacked right off the bat. I liked her ship design, kind of like a little steam runner class, you know, kind of cool. The little ships that were attacking her, kind of interesting looking, you know what I mean? I liked how it kind of like attached. I thought it was dumb when she warped away. It like flew off. I don't think that's how warp works really necessarily, but whatever. You know what I mean? I like the alien design in there.
They had a kind of Star Trek Beyond feel, you know, where they were all like attaching to the side of the ship and kind of all getting on at once and attacking, and then
it has a very Star Trek Beyond feel. A lot of the cinematography too, which is not bad. I actually like the cinematography and the new shooting and everything. I thought it was dumb that Beverly's like a cold-blooded killer, but I guess they did note that later in the episode. So be it. I'll give it to them. She's changed. She's been a commando. She went on commando missions in TNG, so I'm not going to say that she can't be like a. But as a doctor, it seems like she would normally be like, well, I'm going to like zap them and like capture them. But again, we don't know her circumstances the last 20 years. I know. Yeah, right. You know, she definitely, I thought it was dumb that she shoots the phasers by pumping the handles or something. I don't know. I thought that was weird. I don't know if
that was goofy. Like a shotgun?
That's not how shotguns work either. But
remember in Insurrection, like she was shooting down those little drone things. They were going after the those people they were trying to save, and they're fighting up that mountainside to go into the caves or whatever. She was part of that group.
So. Well, and you mentioned Insurrection, which is actually poignant, I would say, because a lot of the movie I felt like some of the movies that we've seen. I got Nemesis vibes from some of it. You know, Insurrection vibes too. Did you? All right. So, all right. I don't know. Are we done with the intro? The action, it was okay. Good setup. They kind of hid the guy. We all kind of know from trailers and everything who it's going to be and everything. And then from there we get Picard, who's like wrapping up his studio, and he's kind of winding down to go travel with Laris, which I liked. I thought, okay, let's he's wrapping it all up. You know, we get a Geordi mention. A lot of LaForge mentions in this episode, which we'll see where that leads.
My second note actually was a LaForge note. I wrote, Geordi is running the museum.
Nice. All right, that's cool. If for those who are watching and don't know, between the two of us, we've got about 35 years of museum experience. It's actually why we know each other. We're both museum rats, you know.
Pretty much. Yeah. I never thought Geordi is a curator type, I should say.
So be it. He always seemed like he'd be an engineer.
Yeah.
We'll find out more.
Never struck me as the historian type.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. No, I like that too. I was like, all right, let's go museums. You know.
I'll be the Starfleet curator. That'd be sweet.
Your dream job, you know. Hey, Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have any other notes in there or anything? Or I would say my
I
notes.
just wrote that, and, like, it was, it was like Laris and Picard just kind of, oh, go do your thing. I know space calls you, blah blah blah. Go save
Well,
some
I
people, blah blah
liked,
blah.
I liked that he at least talked to her and was like, "This is the situation." He wasn't just like piecing out or anything. It shows that he has at least some level of respect for her. I'm surprised a little bit she's not like, "Well, I'm gonna go with you," but I get that too. So it was a good way to write him out. Um, and then let's see, yeah, my note on that section is just Picard getting ready to roll, and then message
Pretty
received
much.
and decides to help. Um, I thought it was a little weird with the message. Why is he got this Beverly man? If that was her, like, I need help, save me. Like, I'm gonna send it to this. I hope somebody's got their old communicator right next to him. That was not the best plan.
Well, if they hadn't talked in 25 years, how did they know? How does she even know he's still alive?
Well, he's not
Well, he's
alive.
not right, but she doesn't
How
know
does she
that.
know that he's? How does she know? Right? Does she know that he's a super android robot golem now?
What
Maybe
if
that's
his
why she
like
called him.
what if his old communicator badge was in that archive they had at the academy that he visited, and he didn't even hear it?
Yeah, 6 months later,
Like
someone's
that
like,
was,
"Yeah, that was dumb." But hey,
but whatever.
whatever. It is what it is to get it moving. So he receives the message. He has this conversation with Lyris, which I respect. At least they wrote, and at least it wasn't like he was like, "Well, whatever." At least they had that story beat. At least they took care of it. You know what I mean? Um, the episode overall actually felt like a real story that flowed. That was point A to B to C. Stuff happened. So that was all
And there were
right.
stars and trekking.
I've got Riker meets Riker at the bar, and I thought it was I like kind of seeing the Eagle Moss ships.
I wrote that was one of my notes. I was like, Eagle Moss ships at the bar. I'm like, I have a lot of those.
I say I'm so glad because they went bankrupt, so I'm like glad I've got like all the Federation ones. Your face just went. I know. I'm glad I've got all the like the models. You'll see. I even pulled one for a visual aid later here. But yeah, so Riker at the bar, I thought it was funny. Why nobody wants the Galaxy? Really? I mean, I guess okay, it's one of the coolest ships ever, but they're doing their bar thing, and a nice little reference to Guinan's bar. They're still hanging out there, whatever.
I was hoping it wasn't a Guinan like a Guinan sighting. I'm like, please don't be Guinan. Please don't be Guinan.
Guinan was too busy to shoot, so Whoopi was unavailable, so they just threw the reference in. It's her bar. We've seen a lot of Bajorans. I don't know. There's at least several Bajorans in the episode, which is cool. I like that.
Well, it's after they're part of the
This
Federation now, aren't
shows,
they?
yeah. I was gonna say, I believe so. We definitely seen Bajoran officer. They're one of the officers on the Titan. So that was really it. There's that weirdo who was looking at him in the bar, and then it cut to like an ad or something, and then we go on to Raffi on Drug World, Drug Dealer World.
Ugh.
That's my note, is Raffi on Drug Dealer World, and that's where I texted you. I was like, Raffi. I texted you in the middle of when I was watching. I was like, God, Raffi is the worst, all capitals. I was like, and that's before I kind of knew that they were gonna do the. Oh, she's really undercover. But she's like sitting there all like shooting up me, and they're like, "Ah, oh, come on, just give me the info, man. Like, give me that info, baby. Woo!" I was like, man, I'm glad that they decided to bring Rafi back to her crackhead roots, and I'm just not a
I
big
had
fan.
because when you texted me that as well, um, I had a friend who watched the episode before we did, and he was texting me throughout, and he texted me, Raffi needs to go. So shout out to EB for that too. And I'm like, man, she's like universally hated. She's like so.
She
I
tried to
mean,
save, and she's just slow enough where she figured it out. Good for her, just in time to get there and watch it happen. the
of
the
course she would.
terrorist attack. She got there and she's like, "All right, I'm here. I'm calling to save you guys." Up they're already signal locked. It's too late. You literally here to party. Just
Although, like, I like
maybe if she hadn't shot up. You know, that maybe that
Well,
delayed her 10 minutes. Maybe it fogged her out. I don't know.
I don't think she did because she threw it on the ground.
Well, she didn't
Remember?
keep it. She left it, but she did in front of the Orion because he would have. She like turned around. And she's like, "Let me get my drug on, then come back and ask for info, buddy."
Mm.
Yeah, right.
I liked. Well, and then of course, like, so we're gonna just see Rafi in this endless trauma circle for like her whole life now because she's. Because you can genuinely suspect that she's all bummed out because Seven left her.
Well,
Like
here's the
that
thing:
wasn't.
did Seven leave her, or was that part of a line? Because when she was like, "My girlfriend left me," I was like, "Oh, thank God for Seven." I was like, "Now I get why Seven's back in Starfleet. She got it together. Rafi's just loose in," but then she like is like, "I'm security officer Rafi, beam me up or whatever," and I'm like, maybe they're still together. I don't know. They're not serving together, so hopefully Seven's got it right. But I suspect they're still together.
I liked the Rachel Garrett reference.
Even
Enterprise
though
C
it's just
captain.
there for them to like vaporize her. But yeah.
Yeah,
And kill a
I thought
bunch
that
of
was a
people in her name. What'd you think of
cool
the
throwback.
explosion? It's
That
not
was
obvious we're
pretty
talking
cool.
spoilers, by the way. It was cool. I liked the effect, and then because I had seen previews with the explosion, I wasn't expecting it to come back and drop out, and I thought that was a cool little touch. It's different. I
I
was
thought
like,
that was
that's
neat.
actually a cool sci-fi doomsday weapon. I like that. It's different. I haven't seen that thing before, really. I don't think, I liked it. I
Wasn't
thought
your average? It
City
kind of had a
Evil Portal, like from the Portal games.
Mrs. Captain 1701 mentioned it had kind of like a Marvel weapon vibe.
Yeah.
I was like, I could, yeah, like Doctor Strange vibes.
Did you hear who decided to chime in? You heard her a second ago. Hi. I say we got our pets with us. Hi, doggy. You want to say hello? Hello, sweetie. My old dog.
Anyway,
Pet
so
time.
but I think when we saw the ship, the Neo Constitution class,
All right. All
how
right.
sick was that?
All right. My note is, what'd they do to the Titan?
They made it awesome.
They made it dumb. They made
I
it
liked
dumb
it
and
a
ugly and
lot.
stupid and boxy and like idiotic. All right, so this is one of my last notes because you can tell I started getting a little and like, all right, so here's the deal. Here's the Titan. This is the Titan. That's a cool ship. This doesn't look anything like the Titan. So how is it? All right, and so when they're like it's a refit and I'm like this Neo Constitution, I'm like it doesn't look anything like the Titan. And the truth is, if you come down, I think you can. It probably is an actual refit, and maybe the Titan's under there. Maybe, I don't know, but I feel like it. To me, it doesn't look like the Titan, dude. It looks like they just took the model from JJ into the darkness. And this one's dusty, but look, it's got literally the same profile as like the JJ villain ship. So that's my problem with the Titan.
I thought it was cool.
They just, dude, it has like the bulky like torpedo things, and it literally is just like another saucer on a secondary hull with engines. And I like, but you know me, I like the Akira a lot more, So
Well, the Enterprise D didn't look anything like the
Enterprise F or C or E.
right.
Yeah, but
Right.
they weren't refits. They were new ships, new classes. So that's why I'm like,
Well,
is this a new class
this is a new,
or is it a refit?
It is a new class.
They referred to it as a new class and a refit.
Well, that's because it's
they don't.
Kurtzman.
It's not a refit of a lunar. Aren't these a lunar class?
I don't know.
I think they're lunar class. But it's not a refit if it's not the Titan. If it's a new one, and I get that it can still be Titan A. It doesn't have to, but it's not a refit. So that was my weird Trek thing that I was going to Trek nerd out about and complain about.
I actually liked it a lot.
It looks okay. I like the graphics. I don't like how boxy it is. And
they've got the yellow and red stripe down the side, like the old school ship.
It's
the
okay.
old
It
Constitution.
looks like
I liked it.
a proper Century Federation ship, so it's not my favorite design. Yeah, maybe I'll come to like it better.
Considering we haven't seen many Starfleet vessels in this entire show from start to finish, it was a nice surprise to see an actual
Actually, have
Starfleet ship
or like you said the other day, maybe this season we'll have some stars and some treks. Let's start
and
out.
some Starfleet
We
ships.
got some
We still
stars
got
and
the
treks.
Serena.
Yeah,
Apparently, Draffy's still using the
Rafi's on the
Serena.
La Serena, even though its owner died in like the 21st or 22nd century or whatever. R.I.P. Rios.
Bar fight. In a
Man,
bar fight.
maybe. Hey, if Rafi still has La Serena, maybe we can have Rios back as a hologram.
Oh, Jesus. You're right. We
I
may.
bet we, dude, bring Rios back. I like Rios, and I don't care if it's Rios as a dumb hologram Rios. Maybe we will get Rios Lara
I
style. I
liked all the
bet you.
holographic.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
liked all the holographic Rioses.
Now that said, I did hear he was not coming back like Girardi, but they should have written him in as a hologram on Rafi's ship. She could have been not bored and lonely.
So I have a question, an atmospheric question.
All right.
When did all these Starfleet ships just become like dark inside? That drives me crazy.
It's for your eyes. It's probably for like the species on the ship that can't handle highlight.
Then explain it.
Whatever. It's JJ. They want lens flares and stuff.
But it's all so dark. I'm like, how can you? If I was like on that ship, I would be falling all over myself. Like,
There's say Thornkiller tuned in for a little bit there, TK, or he might still be tuned in. But yeah, like
what about? So let's get into the Captain Shaw.
I would say my very last note that I took down is Shaw is a dick.
Like way too much of a dick. I think it's overkill.
Like, all right, so like it was all right. It was a little much, and like when Seven was like, "You're gonna be disappointed," I was like, you know, and like when he didn't show up, you know, okay, all right. We saw the trailers, so I kind of knew he was gonna be a little bit of a dick. But and for the most part, I actually thought it was kind of funny and an enjoyable scene with him like totally shutting down their dumbass plan. Like, how did they think this was actually gonna work? You know, like. He's like, oh no, we're not going to be deviating course. Why would we do any of that? But then, of course, they had to make him not just like kind of a Starfleet guy who's not playing ball with them, and make him like just a dick by like cutting Seven for being like ex-Borg and him, you know, and they just made him into a real jerk. I did think it was funny that we finally got to see actual cadet cots on a Starfleet ship. Because like they put it in lower decks and we were like, what is this? Well, they brought it into that proper series and they stuck him on. I thought that was kind of funny. I kind of half expected, honestly, them to like just knock Shaw out in the ship and just start going ham like Burnham style right there, you know what I mean? But I actually enjoyed it a little more that they were both like, oh, and they like had to like slump back to their like shitty cots, like all like dejected. And because they're totally not used to that.
I thought it was very disrespectful.
Yeah, he totally like dressed him down pretty hard. He's not your kind of Starfleet part of the team captain. He's just like a by the book jerk.
I mean, Jellicoe was, but like Jellicoe was very kind of by the book, but he was also like he was a dick, but he was more like we're at war. Like, well, we need to pull this.
He was less, like, he had less attitude. This guy, Shaw, has a little more attitude than Jellicoe, and a little more disdain.
He's arrogant.
Yeah, well, so when he wakes up and he looks out and he's like, and then he, like, comes out, instead of, like, totally flipping out, you know, everything, he's just mad, and he, like, gives her the 1-2. He's like, but give me a report and let me know exactly what the hell's going on, and then he walks off, you know, I'll give him that, you know. He's not like totally like throw her in the brig, and you know what I mean. He's just like you fucked up, but he's like give me what I need, and let's he's dealing with it as it is. I'm curious to see what happens when he encounters this villain ship that just appeared at the end of the episode.
Do you think he's like an insider agent for
I don't
some
know.
bad force, or is he like True Blue Starfleet, or is he like a bad guy?
I think so far my gut is to say True Blue Starfleet and just an asshole, just an arrogant asshole.
I was thinking that too. I don't think he's like a bad guy in disguise or anything.
Yeah.
They've done that way too much lately, and in some of
Well,
the other shows, I think they
I
would
think
overplay that. And
I think if that was where they were going, he would have like thrown Seven in the brig. And I think
I mean, they already did it.
by him telling her you're done, now give me a report and tell me what's going on, and everything. It's showing that he's not just like he's still what I mean. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where he develops.
Because they already did that kind of storyline with Lorca on Discovery, and if they did it again with this one, it's like, all right, now you guys are just like rehashing storylines from your own crappy shows.
We'll see. I don't know.
It would be
I
lazy.
laughed a lot when with the shy interactions with Picard and Riker. That I found some humor that I enjoyed as Star Trek humor and just situational. I was actually genuinely laughing.
It's funny though, and it was one of those situations where if someone says, "With all due respect," they really have no respect for you. You know, I think it was that kind of thing, and I love when he's like when Picard gives him the bottle of Chateau Picard, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm more of a Malbec guy, but I'll give it a whirl."
He's like,
Like,
yeah. And I liked when he looked at Riker and was like talking shit. He's like, all that jazz I had to clean out of here when I took the chair. I thought that was
I
funny.
like something with more structure.
Structure and actual rhythm. Yeah, I thought that was funny. That was a good scene.
Maybe I'll come around to Shaw, but I did think he was
I don't hate him.
little heavy.
I don't like him,
I don't
and he's a
either.
dick. But I don't. I'm like, I kind of like him a little bit too. It's just like I don't know. We'll see what he does.
He's a little heavy-handed, I thought.
Yeah, well, we all want him naturally to like be like, all right, Picard, what do you want? You know what I mean? And the fact that he's not, he
A
didn't have to be
sycophant.
such a dick about it. But I'm also kind of like, yeah, I kind of feel him too. Like, why does he have to like cater these these goofy guys? What are they doing here?
And one
You know.
thing with Riker, like, what's with Riker and Troy on the rocks? They make
Yeah,
Riker
dude.
just like
I
out to
was
be
gonna say I almost texted you too. I was like, oh, they made Riker a loser again or something.
is he like a
They don't want me
scoundrel again?
here. But here's the thing: we've seen Troy in the trailers, so we'll figure it out. They're just
Yeah,
implying
but
it's
like,
the same thing. All these guys can't retire. They all have to have their space adventure bones. They all want to be Kirk. You know what I mean? It's like, eh. Now,
you can only be Kirk. You can only have one Kirk. So I want to go back to Raffi a little bit. Raffi's handler's Worf for sure.
you think?
Well,
I didn't even think
weird,
about it.
in that weird like computer message, it was like, "You're a warrior." I'm like, that's Worf.
Nice, good pickup, dude. I bet you're right on that. We have seen in trailers where Worf like headbutts her on drug dealer planet. So maybe that, you know what I mean?
Maybe they're
And
undercover and he has to like fight her to like
and that would be
stay
like a
under.
good way to like throw it off too with the like lady voice, with the
That's
computer
one of my
voice.
predictions from this. I think Worf is her Starfleet intelligence handler.
I didn't even pick up on that. I think you might be right on that. That feels legit. I like that.
Um,
How
I
about
think
the forge when it cuts over to the ensign staring at him and Picard's like, "What's wrong with her?" I was like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" But then as soon as they say, "Oh, it's LaForge," I thought that was funny, and then they immediately flip it around and embarrassed her horrendously. "Oh, you're Crash LaForge, huh?"
well,
She's like,
they're they're setting up everyone on the ship to, at the end of the day, rally around Picard and Riker over Shaw.
well, they've got two of them. They've already got and it was Seven, right? Who had the course, and Seven worked with LaForge to set the course and get him there. So it's like runs in the family kind of thing, kind of vibe, right?
So
Um, but we also know maybe that's why LaForge is all angry at Picard later on. Maybe he like draws his daughter into some crazy plans or something.
I think I think by the end, like, Shaw will be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I should have helped you out," blah blah blah, and like come around a little bit
He might.
when he
See,
realizes that everyone is
I'm wondering if we'll see some of
not like
that.
a full blown mutant,
Like, I'm wondering if
but
we'll see some of that because we had the enemy ship coming at the end, and if he sees them like fighting, the Titan could totally step in. So he's kind of there. It might be a kind of thing like he's pissed that they're there, but they're there and now it's happening. So let's go. So we'll see.
he can't just leave them there.
Right.
I mean, he probably could, but
I like the design on the enemy ship. It was pretty cool. Kind of like I don't know if I've seen anything just like that. Some of the shots, like in the trailers, made me feel like Nemesis vibes. But I like the design on the enemy ship so far. I think that's going to be fun to watch. Pretty good start. A few dumb things, but nothing that's like by any way. Man, if this is what we had been getting so for the whole show so far, I probably would have enjoyed a lot more of it.
yeah, it took him 3 years. I mean,
This is what we
typical
want. We
Star
just
Trek
want,
thing.
some good Star Trek. It's a little more action-packed and less thinking man type than your normal Star Trek, which is fine. I'm fine with action-y Star Trek. I honestly don't mind action Star Trek, as long as you get a good thinking Star Trek here and there. You know what I mean?
Also, I do want to say, like, if that is Picard's son and he's
It is.
British, that mildly annoys me because if that's the only, like,
Well,
accents aren't. Hold on. Accents aren't genetic. Like you develop your accent by whatever region you grow up in. Like just because you're British
Because you
doesn't,
hear
and you're
people
born
talking, yeah. Yeah. So how did
unless
he
like
develop a
unless they
British
lived in
accent
London or
if his
something.
mom stole him away and never introduced him to his dad? Was she doing an English accent the whole time she raised him? Yeah, it's dumb. But you don't understand.
I'm like,
It's movies, dude. That's how they make movies and TV.
no, I
That's like a
get it.
basic, like fundamental thing, so that your audience understands and can make those ties. And like it's like in Star Wars, where all the bad guys are have the British accent, and that's like the High Republic, and that's been layered throughout in good ways. So it is what it is. If that's his son. Of course it's his son. Who else is he, dude?
Right.
Come on.
No, I know. I know it's his son. I know it's his son. I'm not doubting that, but like, just because
Beverly
he's a
says like,
British
"Oh, I
accent.
got pregnant. I'm gonna just run away and disappear."
And then
I'm sure that's why we're watching to figure out the story, and I'm not even gonna speculate on any of that. Overall I enjoyed the episode. I'm glad to have good Star Trek. I want to see more.
do you think we'll get a Wesley sighting?
I hope not. Didn't he like go away
His
last
half
season?
brother.
Didn't he leave last season?
He's gonna save his half brother. Well, he took the Sochi clone or whatever with him. Remember?
Why'd you even bring fucking Wesley into this, bro? I didn't want to hear anything about no Wesley.
What if they get married? Like, and then I don't know. But like, I love the outro.
Yeah.
The Elcar outro.
I think I texted you. I was like, "What'd you think of the Elcars porn at the end?" And I was like, I like it. I like those shots. It was great. The production on this season is much better than the previous ones. I like the intro music and outro music much better, and I like the outros. And instead of these like weird time glasses of sand slipping away, this was much better intro outro setup. I like it.
And it had like they had all the medleys of the Star Trek themes, which I liked, and then with you're right, the intros weren't all like weird and cryptic and like
it's more of a classic Star Trek feel, man. It feels good. I like it. Hey,
but
guess what?
When do you think it's going to go off the rails?
You know what this episode made me want to do? I'm going to do an unboxing tomorrow. I've been waiting to do this one for like, I don't know, a really long time. The Titan Lower Decks edition. So it's the extra large, and it's like got the color on it and everything from Lower Decks, because it's like the cartoon model. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna open that up. Much larger than the classic here. So that'll be kind of fun. I'll do that on channel tomorrow because I'm off.
Right on.
And
Overall,
I was gonna say,
I thought it was
let's wrap it down.
pretty good. Good start. We'll see where we go from here. I think you were right in in our preview episode, where you talked about how they used all the budget for this last season, because the second season seemed like they just, we don't have any money, so we'll just like
We're
dick
in the
around in
21st
normal
century. Whoa!
So I think I'm glad they did not spare expense.
The effects look good. The ship bridge looked nice. Like you said, it's a little dark, but it looked good. I liked it. It's a little bigger than I would have liked. But I just like being on Star Trek bridges again, man. I like being on a Federation ship.
It didn't have the feel of like the Discovery bridges or the Strange New Worlds bridge, where it's like that ridiculously huge view screen and it looks like a warehouse in there. I mean, it actually looked like a bridge where everyone was close quarters.
It was a little big. It was a little big, but not that bad.
A bridge is supposed to be a small control center, but in like Discovery and Strange New Worlds, they make it look like it's the biggest part of the ship, and you're like, the bridge is supposed to be small, so it's not a huge target. So I like the bridge design.
I liked it. I like it. I'm liking the show, man. I'm hyped. I'm really excited. I would watch another episode right now if it was available.
Same here.
Yeah. What do you think? You want to try and we're going to do next week, right? We're going to come back and do another one. We'll do that for sure, and we are going to try and do additional content. The captain has been putting together the occasional Star Trek short, which are super cool. And I'm going to go ahead and do some Trek unboxings and some Trek comic book videos. I've got an entire short box of comic books, Star Trek comics next to me here. I'm going to go ahead and crack some Fortnite cards tonight too, I think, here on my channel, akaBoG. I bought this from one of the card groups here. 2 slabbed trading cards. Possibility of a Black Knight holo, which is like a $1,200 card, maybe $1,000. I don't know. So I'm gonna open those up. We'll see if anything interesting. And that's about it, man. I'm pretty hyped for the new season, ready for next week, and I'm gonna watch me some Star Trek Prodigy this week too, just to keep watching Star Trek.
Nice, yeah. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Keep it rolling.
Anything else? Call it there.
Yeah, that's good. That's it for me.
Let's go to our outro with our new Picard chatbot. Guys, take it easy.
Engage. And like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Voice.ai